Up. Up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Siege of the Mist, episode number 3. I'm your
Oh my
host.
god, we have a background.
I'm your host, Aegon. With me this week is... that way.
You first.
Alright.
You first.
Are we pointing at people? I can't see
No.
anything.
Pointing at you.
Oh, I'm Beetle. You know me. Leader of Subterfuge Gaming, all-around bro, and love being on the show. That rhymed unintentionally.
Wow.
Oh.
My name is Blank Space. I'm the World vs. World Commander, Officer, Alliance Leader, whatever, for Paint Train.
Cool. Alright. So, first off, I guess I go, what's everyone drinking?
Go blank.
Tonight, this is actually a non-alcoholic drink. 'Cause last time I kind of got a little carried away with my siege equipment. So this is actually very ice-cold water, and this stuff that's called blocks. It's for, dudes like me who go to the gym a lot and work out. So it's amazing. That's what I'm
What
drinking.
room is?
No, wait, it's over there. It's right over there. No way.
Mine's extremely alcoholic. It's just your standard orange juice and citrus vodka. Called a screwdriver.
Nice. Today, I am drinking nothing because I'm out. Didn't get a chance to hit the store.
Wow. I
Beer
forgot to mention I'm drinking America.
America.
America. Right
Drinking
here.
America.
Okay. What's that?
Alright.
Straight America.
Well, next up, we had a contest winner. Why don't you tell us about it, Beetle?
Yeah, I can take it. So we did the 80 before launch day thing. Yes, there were some scams out there and exploits that you could hit 80 a little quicker, but I was approached, I think Sunday night, by, I believe, gentleman. I think his name was Prida, and he was on NSP, and he hit 80 like Sunday night with the help of his guild. So he wins the Steam Game of his choice and all this stuff for blank.
Very nice.
Right now. Grabbing it right now.
We're just kind of, I've got his Steam and everything, so we're just kind of waiting on
Now, do we know if
letting him choose.
do you know if he's one of the ones that did it with the exploit that they had in the beginning, or?
He actually sent me a link to his stream because they ended up transferring servers before I talked to him, and he looked legit. His crafting actually was not maxed.
Cool.
So, yeah, but he was an Ellie, so easier to farm this.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Very good. So, if he's listening, or he watches this later on, get your information to Beetle. You got a contact. The same contact he contacted you at. Same contact.
Yeah, he's got me on Steam, so we'll.
Alright.
He said he's thinking about what game he wants to pick on Steam, so we're good to go.
All right, sounds good. Congratulations. That's some dedication and some time.
Yeah.
All right. Not a whole lot of news this week. I mean, we've had our incidents, the exploits that have been shut down. Trading posts finally back online. Mail back online. Everything looks like it's good to go. How's it going for you guys? Any problems? Is it running smooth?
I'm staying away from it for now. I'm too skeptical with not being able to get my items. I'm just gonna stay to myself, and then I'll work with the trading post in a bit here. I'm just too scared. I can't handle it.
Yeah, it's been kind of frustrating as an organization because we've wanted to get crafters up, and you have to, hope that someone in the 25% is able to get access or not get access, and then certain people weren't 80, so they couldn't transfer as much stuff. So it's been difficult.
Yeah, we've been feeding our main crafters to get them up there. We gave the main crafters access to the bank, so everyone just threw everything in the bank, and they got all their stuff that way. And I think prices aren't all that great on the market right now because it's flooded. I mean, I can't even sell a yellow, an exotic, for more than 5 silver.
Yeah, it's just because everybody accumulated for so long that it's just not.
Yeah.
Everybody's got it all there. It's like, hey, I've got everything I've been holding on to, and you're just like, well, I can wait.
Yep. So I pretty much had to held on all my stuff, and hopefully it picks up in the near future. I could use the money.
Yeah, let's give it some time.
All right. Again, unfortunately, we had no feedback this week or mailbag. So people, come on, give us some feedback. Email us. I know you got questions.
Their feedback is the slight echo from your mic.
Okay, I don't know what the echo is. Sorry, I've been trying to fix it.
It's brand new.
It's a brand new mic, brand new headset,
you know
and it
what
works
it
everywhere
is?
else but here.
You know what it might be? You have that Realtek stuff? Do you have that
User in your
Realtek
channel
audio
timed
manager
out.
thing?
Yeah, I've got the Realtek audio, but it's a USB. It's a USB mic.
You might have to turn some crap off. I had the same issue where like I would breathe and I would hear it in my headset. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to go in and change something. I don't know. I hate that crap. It's not
That's
like
called being on
User
shrooms.
entered your channel.
I can hear myself.
I can hear myself.
oh my god.
Let's see. While we talk, I'll look and see if I got anything on.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
wait. Oh. No, it's still there. I got
It's still
excited
there.
because like it's gone.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, I know that Blank's gotten a whole lot of PvP in. Sadly, I'm on Jade Quarry, and we are so overloaded. I'm sitting in the queues for 2 and 3 hours and don't actually get into World v World very often.
Shall I head into stuff?
Let's go into stuff. First thing, queue times and server overcrowding.
Big issue for I think a lot of people. What happened was, the head start. People were getting in. Let's talk about the mentality where people were thinking. First of all, some people thought that let's go into PvE and let's level up, and then some other people thought let's go into World versus World and practice our stuff. Like that's what we did as an organization. Oh man, the echo's killing me.
God. Here, I'll mute myself until I can talk.
Oh man,
Ooh.
next level tactic.
So, we as an organization decided we were going to go into World versus World and work on our stuff. And I wanted to at least get your guys' thoughts on that because being 80 now, you can see there's a huge difference. When I start hitting somebody who, they try to do the scaling, but when you're rocking full 80 gear and you're in a battleground, and you just happen to catch someone, you're just running. Like sometimes I go to a jumping puzzle and someone will see me, they're out picking flowers, and they're like, we're going to hit that guy. You face them, you destroy him. It's a good mentality, but I feel like until they nerfed Doliax, there was a lot of stuff, especially with the servers turning over every 24 hours, that you could level up in World versus World very quickly. I wasn't 80 by the end of the head start, but I believe it was the next day, Monday night, was when I hit it, and that was mostly World versus World and a little bit of PvE. Full into queue times were crazy. So before we get into queue times, what did you guys think about that? Because that's when they got crazy. When a lot of these bigger guilds came out of PvE and they jumped into World versus World, and they were like, we've got 100 dudes who are, like level 60, 70, but we can't get in. What do you guys think?
It was a big bummer. I mean, I don't even have that big of a guild, us the specialized crew, and we're sitting on Northern Shore Peaks. So I got home at 3 o'clock and I'd hop in a queue and I'd get in at 9:30. And it's just like, well, I've eaten dinner now and I'm ready to play apparently, because that's one of the reasons I think I'm only level 70 right now, and I still work my 9 to 5 or whatever 7 to 3 you want to call it, but it's just, yeah, those queue times just slowed down my whole leveling process. Yes, I could go PvE and hustle in it, but I don't wanna. Like, once we got that queue pop for World v World, we were in there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because you're just like, here's what I play the game for. So that's, one of the biggest reasons we switched servers. And it's just, even if I do get a queue now, it's maybe an hour if it's bad, and that's just fine with me, and I'd rather have that. And again, with the level 80 thing in World v World, these 24-hour things I think are killing us, because people with you getting matched up with crappy little server, not crappy, but lesser servers, sorry, and you start rolling them, well, then what are you doing to get XP? Well, then you kind of justify, like, well, shoot, should I run Dolly X? Because what am I going to do to get XP right now?
Yep.
I don't know.
I know on our side that, it's come down to, our server has been crushing just about everybody we face by easily 50, 80,000 points every time. And then once that happens, people from those losing servers end up moving to our server. At least they did when they still had the moves going on. And our server, already being probably the biggest at the time, is now even bigger. And our queue times are ridiculous because of how many people are trying to get in. We have, unlike other servers, we don't have a structured alliance. We have a full server alliance set up along our server. That's how the guilds try and chain communication and work together. But we don't even get enough people in there at a time in one guild to be able to function properly. I mean, it's pretty much just a Zerg because there really is no large groups of one guild in there moving things along in the way they should.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk about Dolly X a little down the line, so I'll save my thing. But the fact that they nerfed him, I think, is really helping those queue times tonight. I know a couple of my guys have been in since I got home, and I just haven't had a chance to get in. But I know that nerf is probably helping out a bit.
I'm hoping I'm going to try and get in tonight and see if I can get in within the time that I have, I'm usually restricted to 3 or 4 hours of playing a night, so, if I can actually get in tonight, it'd be great.
Well, we started to talk about servers, and we talked about queue times now. I don't see queue times while free transfers are up. I don't see queue times really resolving themselves, because just what people are going to do exactly what you said. They see winning servers, they see the amounts or the numbers, and people talk. And so while free transfers are going on, the mentality of most people is easy is better. So they're winning. Let's go there. So I think there's maybe 4 or 5 of these bigger servers that are finding people that are squeezing into them. They're going to be the ones that have the queue time issues, I think, for a while. I don't see that changing, and I'm not sure what ArenaNet is going to do. I like the Outman buff right now on my new server. We have the Outman buff, and I kind of wish there was a little bit more to it. Yeah, the Magic Find is really, really nice. But there has to be some sort of something a little bit more to entice people to want to play on those other ones, especially not even just in World versus World. Like, in all aspects, as a guild, when we moved over, we had to clear the 70 to 80 lands because nobody had made it there yet. So it's something to consider. Is like free transfers, once they're done, what is going to happen for these medium pop servers? How are they going to fare? Yeah, they'll have great queue times. Maybe is that an advantage to them, that they may be able to get in organized groups instead of larger serves and the 2-week mentality? It's a possibility, but that's all.
I don't know how our queue times are going to end up going, because most people consider World v World endgame. I mean, you've got Ore and you've got World v World. In most theories, you'd think once people start hitting 80, aren't they going to start moving to World v World and trying to learn that? Maybe they don't want a PvP, maybe they do, but I can only see the queues possibly going up, especially if ArenaNet introduces something, like I said before, Global Agenda had their armor for those kind of RVR, AVA, whatever they called it, and if you won a 2-week period or several in a row, you got armor in your mail that had some sort of, dapper to it. So, they're going to be adding something cosmetic. They got to get... I think they're going to add something that gets people involved.
Yeah, I mean, for my server, I'd like, I know that I'd like to see something to actually force people, a better way to get AFKers out, because I know we have people AFKing and macroing their way to stay into World v World and clogging up queues. I'd like to see them deal with that a little better.
Well,
yeah, botting in there's not fun.
Well, we want to add that on there real quick, because we've found some exploiters. We've had to deal with botters, and I know ANET must be dealing with just so much stuff right now. But I haven't actually seen a lot of too many AFK botters in.
I saw a couple. I mean, not AFK botters, but they definitely had programs run to keep them next to certain Daliaks back when that was still viable. They would run from point A, walk next to the Daliak till point B, and then sprint across to a different Daliak. And it was every 1 to 3 runs when that other Daliak was in that position. So it was botted in such a way that he was only going over there at certain points and was following the Daliak at the same length each time. But as far as just regular AFKing, like moving every now and then, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know they're doing a lot. I've seen a few people AFKing, botting in ours just because of how the queue times are, and people not being able to get in. Like I said, I'm hoping this whole Daliak nerf, cleared some of that out because people aren't going to want to stay there anymore.
Well, do we
can
want
only
to
hope.
do we want to cross Daliaks off and get into them?
Yeah, you might as well. So, I mean,
Might as well.
what do you guys think of the Daliak situation, and how can they make it better and worth it, to defend them but not make them the be all end all of getting your XP in World v World? Maybe some kind of system that instead of actually getting the points just for guarding it, how about if you actually for every dollar you get in there, when you defend something, you get extra points if you're in that keep.
Oh, they could even, kick down the XP on it, up the karma or gold for it, or up how much supply they're bringing in at a time. I mean, they are so useful to take the time out of your day when say you're defending the south gate of Dreaming Bay and you're like, oh, we still have Daliaks coming in from the north. Let's send 4 guys to get this Daliak in. I don't need the XP for that. I need the supply. That's the whole reason I'm up there doing that, is to bring in that supply. I don't care about the XP.
That'd be interesting. Increase the amount and lessen the runs.
Yeah, I wonder if it'd be game breaking if it increased the amount, but it's definitely, I think
if you increase the amount and then lower the amount of runs down far enough, I don't think you're gonna hurt. You're gonna balance out that what you're currently getting now.
The problem for me was, and everybody knows this, the first day we went into World versus World and we owned most of it right from the start and held on to it. Now, part of our logistics is to make sure we fortify everything we have. So I started doing the Daliak runs, and I was doing it by myself because everyone else was running off doing their sort of things. I was responsible for upgrading, I think it was Dreamy Bay or A Bay as we call it, and Strong Side Tower. So I was running back and forth to them, and I was like, wow. I knew it was good karma from the beta events. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get karma. That's cool. But then one of the number crunching buddies came along, and he was like, hey, just by the way, how much experience is this? And I was like, I don't know. It seems like an awful lot. So we did a run, and you had someone figure out exactly how long you had to walk with it. And it was giving 5.2% experience at any level. And we were just like, well, we have to upgrade this keep anyways, so why don't we run this for a little bit? Mm-hmm. So, we got Dreaming Bay up, we got the other one up, then we switched to the other side, did the same thing, and then it took off like wildfire. And even if they do adjust it, because it's nice for experience eventually, I think their problem was they were not expecting people to do it and to use it the way that they did. 5% XP for the amount of time that you're running is killer. I mean, if you did some of these runs, it was like tear your mind out, rip your eye. Like, it was just like, oh man, one more, come on. I'd rather be running around taking a fort or a keep that gives 5 times that amount to take something down and then claim it and build it up. I think it was maybe not an undersight, but they didn't expect people to be using that. The other thing too that I mentioned was, even though it was giving these big boosts, there were other servers that figured it out like we did. We wouldn't let apply, and that's how I look at it. I'm sure they're adjusting the numbers because a lot of people were doing that to level, so maybe adjusting the experience and karma and gold, like you were saying, Beetle, is a great idea. but eventually it's going to be about the supply. And the only kind of cool idea I came up with is maybe they do one of those achievement things for like in World versus World. If you do like 3 events and you have to do your 5 events or whatever, they have a specific area for World versus World dailies where if you escort a couple Daleks, you get a supply token which allows you to carry 5 more supply or something like that. I'm not a balancer. I don't know how game breaking things like that would be, but because that's the section I work in, I'd like to see more. We bought the commander tag with 100 gold. I wish people had to pay like badges. Like I would rather have paid my badges too, so people weren't just like, oh, anybody with 100 gold could get it. I wish, and I hope to see that there's some development with that in the future.
Well, I know. It's kind of ridiculous. I know on our server alone, at least 5 people spent $400 in the shop just to go buy their commander book.
Jesus. No thanks. I'm in Divinity's Reach taking handouts.
Hey, if they got the money to spend, it's all more power to them. But
I know that once we figured out those people were doing Dalek runs, I believe it was 2-3 nights ago, we were against Tarnished Coast, I think, and we had 2 5-mans going, and we just raced. They had the southwest and the southeast supply camp. I said, whoever can get down there, one group go east, one group go west. Whoever can get down, kill both Daleks, and make it to the bottom keep wins. Like, because we knew the people that were running Daleks generally are not the best PvPers. Yep. They're out there to reap the rewards of running those Daleks. So it's just like, I'll take some free badges.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been doing the same sort of thing. It's free badges, and now that they've adjusted it, it's not worth it anymore. It was worth it. Like I said, I started it for Karma because I was like, when I get 80, I want to pick up my Battleground Karma gear, and it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to do a couple of these. This will hold me off the world, but I'm telling you, the experience was a side thing, and it was just too bad that became the thing to do.
Yeah, I really think they could take the XP out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Up something else, and it would be fine. But then you may have people farming it for Karma. But I think you'll find that people will think that it's easier to farm Karma out in ore.
Oh, absolutely. But if you don't want to go into PvE, that's how you get your Karma. I mean, you get your Karma from doing the little events, and we have specific groups that we call our, the guys who come in from PvE are structured, who come into World versus World, and they don't have a lot of levels. We take them around. We take them to when we're taking a keep or going to supply camps, taking out the little guards, the lake, and even in EB, there's tons of events so that they can get quick experience, quick Karma, and things like that. But in worlds where there may not be a lot of fighting, that is one of it's a static variable. It's there. The time. You're able to get Karma. It's just not. It's not worth it if you're in an active battle.
yeah, they have to find some way to balance that reward to make it still worth doing, but not worth, making it a main event.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't think you can take the XP and Karma out of it. You just got to find. It's going to be hard for them to do, but they got to find some way to balance it.
Well, who at level 80 is really going to need it? I mean, yes, they'll be farming skill
They'll
points.
still be farming it for the Karma big time. I mean, they want that gear, that battlefield gear, and it's Karma you're going to need to pile up.
Those yellows.
And unless you're constantly in keep battles or moving Dalek, you're not really racking up Karma in PvP.
Yep.
So stop doing it. Stop it. Let me in.
So yeah, we don't the smaller communities out there haven't had much of that as an issue, because we've been able to show them, like, listen, here's the numbers. You're going to do this for this amount of work. Now come with us. We're going to take this thing, and if you help us, you're going to make this much more. And most people are like, so we just got to come follow you guys? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Press 1 against this door for a while.
Yeah, I know. We'll put the Rams down. Just come on, man.
Alright, well, with that being said, and the Dalek situation, with its current situation, is it even worth upgrading supply now?
Upgrading supply camps.
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah.
I think it is. I mean, you can stop. I mean, upgrading those supply camps with those guards changes the game, in my opinion. I mean, those you get that zealot running around in a group of 10 or 15, and you only have 2 people guarding a supply camp just because it's that southeast one in the borderlands, and the blue team's running up into it every time because they can't take your tower from their spawn, so they're just going to run into the supply camp. Well, you upgrade those guards there, drop a siege golem or something. We might have done that, I don't know. But that was for the lulz. But upgrading those guards stops any of those 4 or 5 up to 10 people coming in and just being like, hey, we're going to take this real quick. Those guards are, I don't know, they're underrated in my opinion.
We got some guys working on the actual numbers for how long, because I don't do the numbers, I just do the tactics. But there's specific times that you want to upgrade a supply camp, and there's other times where you just want to rip the supply out and just leave. You know, people are always like, oh, we're going to lose the supply camp. We're like, good. Because then we can turn around, go back and pick up another 100 supply and continue our siege here. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's times where, like you said, if you're getting siege from the bay and you've got the supply camp to the north, it might be worth it to strip the supply out one time to put up your arrow carts and whatnot. But then once that supply regenerates, to upgrade that siege and spend, what we do is we then put an entire objective group bringing those Daliaks in, because that extra supply with the guards and the camp, you can't beat it. Especially, let's say there's the attrition of you lose an arrow card or you lose, whatever you have. If they go down, you're able to build them back up without having to move assets as much. If you're able to coordinate, somebody guards the camp, somebody walks the upgraded Daliak in, you bring it into your keep. They can keep smashing all they want. Let's just hope that they don't get smart and send another group to the other side to cut you off fully. Which hasn't happened yet. I hope none of y'all go back and be like, hey, next time we see PTX, we're definitely doing this. But
yeah, when
for
do
now,
we play Divana's Rest next? Let me see. Want to talk about Oceanics, Egon?
Yeah, let's move on to Oceanics, and Oceanic crews. Is it necessary to maintain a dominance on your server if you don't have an Oceanic crew, or do you think you're doomed with that one?
You need them. Being able to come home from work and press B on my map and see almost the whole pie just makes me go and want to talk to my Oceanics and be like, hey, thanks. The fact that I can do that and know that they'll be fighting any other server's Oceanics that whole time, it's so nice.
I know the Oceanics do a shitload on our server, so I mean they've been definitely putting their work out at night.
Yeah, if any Oceanics are looking for a home, hit me up, send me a call, baby.
Divana's got room.
Oh, baby, we got some room.
They're not waiting. If they're not waiting in queue time, they got plenty of room left.
Oh man, we got nice little slice of this pie of heaven over here. There's no queue times. You hop in and out.
Self-promotion, drink.
Oh no! Oceanics. Well, we had a huge meeting about this the other day. You either have to have the cultural or geographical demographic. So you have to have the people who are there. So you have to have people from Australia, that whole chunk. Or you need to be able to cover that time zone, which is something that we're looking into, where we're finding daytime players in numbers and organizations that are going to counter that same time. So they are able to then, in essence, cover a time zone instead of covering a geographical demographic. It's kind of, here's the box and it's way over here. But right now we're seeing some results from it, so we're going to keep trying to work on that. But it definitely helps to have at least an Oceanic community presence, because they, from what I understand, it's just barbecues and hanging out all the time, and they just all oh, let's get, we're done the Bobby, let's go play some Guild Wars, and let's go stomp around World vs.
Every day is a barbecue for some reason. That's all I hear.
Yeah. brisket or barbecue or something or other. So
Yeah,
But
we got a few Aussies in our guild, and they're definitely some fun people to hang out with and kill people with.
absolutely. But it definitely is very very difficult. I've never had to deal with it because I've never done a 24-hour world versus world campaign like this. So it's a dynamic variable that I'm trying to address on different levels, and I'm sure a lot of people are too. Yes, it's nice to have. If we talk metagame here for a second, it's nice to have oceanic players. But my focus, in general, is looking for organized and tactical players during time zones. If they're oceanic, cool. If they're like this group that's playing in the Philippines, awesome. Like as long as they can be effective, I think that's really where it is for my nice little server home. It is nice. It is nice to have the numbers because I know you guys have the numbers, the big oceanic communities who clog the servers during the day, and that's got to be super
it just
helpful.
comes down to the plain fact. If you get to a time zone and another server has it,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't, I mean, that's straight up numbers. Oh, we don't have that at that time zone. They're definitely gonna just take things without any defenders, and you're gonna have to try to make that up. I mean, that's just the way the game is. And I know there's some people asking for on the forums to close out World v World during certain times. That just comes down to the U.S. isn't the only
Yeah,
the
it's
U.S.
just
isn't the
ridiculous.
only thing out there.
Can you imagine? Yes. The raid boss World v World is only going to be open from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m.
You could tell the crowd that's never played Dark Age or Warhammer before.
Wow.
Yeah, start getting up at 3 in the morning, make yourself some eggs, and go take some siege.
I did that this morning.
Yeah, that's next level.
Oh
is.
god. All right. Day one matchup metagame. The Castle Rush versus Zone Domination.
I take Borderland Domination over Castle Rush because
Well, here's the thing.
personally,
Let's do this way: the 24-hour method, and then the 2-week when we get there.
Yeah.
What's important now? What's gonna be important in those 2 weeks when we get to the 2 weeks?
right now in 24 hours, I guess Castle Rush is more important. You get that chunk of points for that amount of time. 2-week periods, you can always, you get 3 days into it, you get on your server forums or you contact everybody else. You're like, yo, tonight, Stone Mist. We need it. We need everybody that's queued up to go for it. And then you hold it for however long. But when it comes down to it, it's going to be in the 2 weeks. I think it's Borderland Domination.
Yep. I fully agree. You need those points. It's a big chunk. To mitigate that, you got to have basically entire Borderlands 25. Yeah, you got to. It's quick, easy points, even though you're fighting other people to get in. And 24-hour flip, the castle's the best. But long term, what we've been practicing, and I think you see a lot of other people doing, get in those Borderlands and start cutting off the other people, forcing them to go certain ways, and develop your strong side, then try to grab as much of the map as possible. Definitely for 2 weeks, because you're going to be holding down areas. Zerg mentality is great for 24 hours flip over. It's awesome. You do your jumping puzzles, you do all awesome. When it's 2 weeks, you're going to have people whose job is to defend a section, an area, and that's what they do. They're going to be fighting the same types of people from the same areas. So right now, yeah, Castle. Later on, not so much. Borderlands for sure.
Yeah, being able to hold 2 or 3 Borderland keeps while the others split the other couple. I mean, and then what we've been seeing a lot of is just people that have just a ton of towers. You get on once and there's people that have like 22 towers capped, and that's gonna outdo Stone Mist any day. If you find those groups of 10, 12 that are just like, we're holding this tower, I mean, there's other ways to beat Stone Mist. I mean, if you're going to find in these 2 week matchups that there's going to be teams that only hold Stone Mist and everything else has been taken away from them. because that's the only thing they can do. And they're like, we have stone mist. And then you're going to look around their map, and it's just going to be all different colors. And they're going to be like, well, we have it. So that's all that matters. We have a Mystic Forge in here. It's real nice. Do they even have a Mystic Forge in there? I haven't even been to EV that often. I say Red Borderlands is my home. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now, I know on our server we're seeing the castle rush on these 24-hour days. Um, but ourselves, our server, we've taken the castle and then just left it and got everything. Went to get everything else. That's what we ended up doing. But those 2 weeks, things are going to change a lot. People are going to be working with different strategies. There's going to be a lot more strategic battles going on. Zerg, there'll still be Zergs, but hopefully organized Zerg. It is with the right commander. It is with the right commander and the right team.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you got a mass of people that are ready to follow you and you know how to use them right and they're ready to listen, more power to you.
Well, we could move into Zerg mentality. That's on there.
Zerg mentality, the pros and the cons.
Well, like you were just saying.
Yeah, like I said, if you got leadership and people willing to listen, the Zerg can be a good thing. If you can organize that Zerg to do what you want, defend here, cut off here, protect the siege, get the siege set up, and then use that extras to just pound the castle or tower or whatever you're going for. You've got it if you do it right. But if you just have mindless Zergs running around with nothing going on, it's like free points almost.
One of the interesting things we found is opinions. Opinions are like assholes.
Yeah, everyone's got one.
And it takes a while for people, especially in map chat. Like I'm always in map chat. I'm always running off of shit and dying.
Turn it off
because I'm in like map chat. I'm like, hey guys, we're going here. We're gonna do. Hey guys, we're doing this. Like we're gonna do this. And every once in a while, you'll get that negative Nancy that's like, well, we're gonna lose our supply camp. I'm like, yeah, I know, but we're gonna take this keep over here. So come on, let's go. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort to get people to follow you and to come along, because everyone has their own thing they want to do, whether it's run around and pick some flowers or kill some fireflies, or I don't know what some people are doing out there. I have no idea. I think I've ran by some people having an RP party the other day.
Hanging out in I know on our server we have a lot of people that really like to be leader. So I mean that gets to be a problem too when you got the Zerg, because no one knows who to follow, because everyone's got these. They might not have commander tags, but they know what they're doing, and people want to put all of their opinions in the pot and piss in it.
They're all caps. I mean, first thing I did day one was turn map chat off. It's if you ever need to get a hold of me or my group, don't do it through map chat, because none of us have it on. I mean, I can't do it. I mean, we have people that'll work with map chat. We've got Soul Stitch from TL. He'll be in there. We got a couple other guys, and they'll be shooting people around. I just don't deal with it. Personally, I don't even deal with Zergs. I'll see our Zerg if we have a Zerg, and I'll react accordingly with my group. I just think it's a big target, and that's all it is.
Yeah, well, yeah. I love Zergs right now, because as a ranger, I get so many points just picking people off from the back and just taking them out one by one slowly. It's fun.
Well, if you haven't actually seen a Zerg, I'm not sure which server it was, because we were having those quick matchups. I don't remember what guild it was, but they took everyone they could find in their Borderlands, and they were literally running from camp to camp to camp. And when I say running, I don't mean like kill something and then kill some people on the way. No, they were running like people were getting left behind and killed. We rained down on them with arrow carts. They didn't care. They just kept running forward together as this huge group to take stuff. It was hysterical. I was like, that is a Zerg. You are doing it correctly.
They're probably screaming, their AoE caps at 5. Their AoE caps at 5. 5 of you will be left. That's it.
Yeah, it was crazy. But
that's funny.
I found that with the commander tag, you have to get used to people either coming straight to you or then asking like a million questions about how you got it. Are you an NPC? Are you from ArenaNet? A lot of things like that. But we like to use it as a rally point, a moving rally point. And if you don't have a commander's tag, it allows you to actually tag places on the maps, so people join your squad, and then you can say, hey, you're going to go here, you're going to defend, you're going to go here, you're going to attack, and this is my personal waypoint where I'm going to go do this or whatever. And it's right there on the map that everyone in your squad can see. So that is super helpful. So if you have an organized group, definitely look into getting a commander's tag, because the squad function right now is really cool.
Yeah, I'd still like to see it fleshed out a little bit, but I remember definitely in the beta weekends when I had mine, it was just like, you better not stand still, because people are gonna get to you eventually at the tower that you AFK'd at for 2 seconds to grab a glass of water, and they're gonna be standing there PMing you like, hey, what are we doing? And it's just like, I should have turned it off. I should have turned it off when I was gone, because they just don't care. Then all the PMs, are you from ArenaNet? Hey, where do you buy that? Where is that? It happens.
Akon just disappeared. I don't know if you saw it. It was so great.
He's under his desk. Alright, we'll just keep going while he's fidgeting down there.
Well, commander's tag, a little bit more. How we've been using it is we use it as a focal point for the servers and the community and all the players who want to come in. And we're like, hey, come hang out with me. We're gonna do this, and then we use our hardcore organized groups to then go and do as they need. While I can keep a bulk and then be able to see what's happening, as the battle unfolds in front of us. So that's been really, really helpful. I'm still looking forward to when more people have commander's tags to see how things